My sister, Ann Flesor and I reopened our family's confectionery in 2004. We came back to Tuscola to do this because we are crazy women. We missed our family's heritage and I guess wanted to recreate the Greek American tradition that was started by our grandfather in 1901 here on the corner of Main and Sale in Tuscola. My grandfather and two other fellows, both of them not too long off the boat, were here in Tuscola. It was Mr. Vakey, Mr. Briner, and my grandfather. They were trying to figure out how to, make candy and have a soda fountain and whatnot. And then my grandfather apparently decided he wanted to own this himself. My grandfather ran it for over 70 years.
If you were young again and you had it to do all over once more, would you begin a shop like this one?
Sure.
Why did you come back?
Because he wanted me to. My father asked me to.
My father was just this crazy Greek guy who yelled a lot.
You don't have to buy candy. You don't have to eat it.
And my mother was martyred.
Flesor's wife, Betty, helps with the Candy Kitchen's business.
She was suffering from martyrdom, here working in the store.
Do you ever get tired of looking at candy?
Yes, frankly, I do.
We have these big candy knives. Apparently my grandfather chased my father out of the store waving the knife, right? He was gonna kill him. My father did the same thing to my brother.
We're the only country that really gobbles up candy in large quantities. I think that like 18 pounds a year per person.
My parents went out of business in the late 70s. He had had enough.
How many years was this closed before the girls came back and opened it?
For a long time.
A long time, wasn't it?
I was teaching primarily at Eastern Illinois University in the English department. My sister went to Iowa, then Connecticut, then she came back to Illinois.
I was driving through town and there was a for sale sign in the window. And I thought,
She invited me over to my mother's place, and my mother was still living, and she introduced the idea of us going back into the family business. She introduced that idea while we were drinking wine.
Danger, danger, danger.
Sure, let's do it.
I could have killed him.
The building had been empty for decades, and we spent so much time scraping and scrubbing. So I had heard a rumor, because it's a small town, right? I had heard a rumor that our antiques were still in storage. So I called the guy who had them, and he said he'd be happy to sell them back to us. The other thing we had to figure out how to do was how to make candy. Because my brother, he was the one who helped make candy with my father. My brother was taught to make candy because he was a boy. It's kind of dangerous, and the kettles are heavy and all that. My brother still had the recipes that my grandfather had given to my father, who gave them to him. Before we opened, my sister and I sat at her kitchen island and ate chocolate for like 2 days. It was really kind of disgusting. And we decided that we love Guittard chocolate. It's so good. We use real cream and half and sugar. We make our own fondant for our buttercreams. If you come here, you should absolutely get caramels. Peanut butter pudding, better than Reese's peanut butter cups. We have these little peanut butter squares. We also make peanut butter eggs at Easter time. Our toffee is very good, though if you are old and have bad teeth, it might be a little hard to, it's really good. We also have excellent peanut brittle. We have a real soda fountain. We have, carbonated water. We also serve breakfast and lunch. We know how to cook-ish. We're like crazy breakfast Nazis, I'm afraid, and at 10 o'clock we cut off breakfast, and if people dawdle in at 10:10. We say, no, you may not eat breakfast. And we serve lunch from 11 to 3. And then we cut it off at 3. And we say, no, you may not have lunch at 3:05. It's really kind of awful of it. We're awful. We're awful.
Betty says both she and her husband Paul, when he was alive, wanted their kids to have a better life than this.
It is hard to run a place like this. It's physically exhausting and mentally exhausting.
Look at them, they're haggard.
She's right.
My sister and I, while we were in business together, fought almost every day. I thought she was a nitpick, and she thought I was a space queen. Our customers were used to us yelling at each other across the room, and we made up all the time. Our separate skills made the store strong. Our separate personalities, I would argue, made the store strong. I also found a new husband, so that helped. He retired from his real job that paid and learned how to make candy with me. If he had not come along 11 years ago, I think I might have given up. And now that my husband has joined the business officially, right, he can bring his personality into it a little bit too.
My wife and I are only going to be able to work for so many more years, right?
Right.
We're going to have to either train people or let them train people or give it up.
My husband would like me to say, of course I'm going to retire. You bet. And we're going to live in a lovely log cabin on the side of a mountain somewhere soon. And I better not say what I'm really thinking. I don't know. I like working. Is that weird? That is weird.
We can't make candy for the whole world. Impossible. We're a little one-horse operation. But we can serve a lot of people, and we do.
By the way, we are haunted. That's an aside. There are other people here.